Alright everybody, it is Tarsion here today, coming to you with a discussion video. A little bit different than what I normally do. I'm not going to be showing off a deck or doing any replays this time in case people really want to see it. I just really want to do a discussion video on a topic I had been talking with some people about, and that is, I believe the best deck to give to a beginner who has never played Yu-Gi-Oh! Before would be. Because people will always be like, you want to give new players helmet decks, you want to give them decks that win easily, that don't take much thought. Well, I think that you should go a step slightly further and just give them level 4 Vanilla Beat. Now, for those of you who don't know, maybe like newer players, Vanilla Beat was a deck that's pretty much existed since the beginning of Yu-Gi-Oh! Just based around getting out these big level 4 Vanilla Beat sticks. So just choose from a bunch of these, whichever one you think is your favorite. I guess I'll throw in Saber Source as well. We got Megalo Smasher for that now though, so Saber Source isn't as needed unless you want to play both of them to go for some super Dino Rabbit shenanigans. If you're going for a strict build, you probably want some power spells like Unexpected Die. Painful Decision, also a similar thing. That combos really well with Faustian Bargain. Normal monsters have one of the best draw power cards in the entire game, Heart of the Underdog. They do also have this card, which is basically ultimate offering for normal monsters. The extra deck ceiling is great for this deck as well. First of the Dragons is an incredibly powerful monster, and it only takes 2 normal monsters to fusion summon it. So just take your normal, Vanilla Beat deck, whatever beat sticks you want to throw in a Polymerization. Get out first the Dragon. It's still pretty decent. It has been power crept a good bit, but still a really powerful monster. So Knight of Red Lotus, it's a 2100 body that can special summon a normal monster every turn. It can help be a play extender. So Rescue Rabbit, let's talk about Rescue Rabbit real quick. Everything you want to run 3 copies of. So basically, Rescue Rabbit, get out of here. Summon 2 Alexandrites, 2 Megalo Smashers, 2 Phantom Griffins. Summon whatever you want. Box of Friends is a similar thing. You can couple it with things like Gold Driver. Play Gold Driver, pop your Box of Friends to summon out. Steal in here, and you can summon out another Megalo Smasher or Phantom Griffin. Throw Gold Driver in there. So going into pendulums, there's all of these normal support pendulums. Lanciform Orificus here gives all your normal monsters piercing. Dragonhorn Hunter gives all normal monsters 200 more attack, and is basically a sanctuary in the sky for all normal monsters. Sky Dragoon, you can just blow up a card in the field. Dragoons, you can add 1 level 4 or higher normal monster from your deck to your hand. And then Sea Dragoons, you can special summon a normal monster from your hand. Skill Drain's in here as well, is just a really good card that's almost necessary for this deck. Justy Break is a Mirror Force, except it destroys everything that isn't an attack position normal monster. The last one here I want to talk about I have in the main deck is Angel Trumpeter. So this is a level 4 beat stick, and it is a tuner. It is just a level 4 vanilla tuner. So you can use it with whatever level 8 synchro you want to go to in this deck. And especially by doing a vanilla deck like this, you're letting the new players ease into the game without having to force them to remember all sorts of monster effects. Like, if I were new going into the game and you handed me, like, Buster Blader the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman with all of this text, or even, I have Exodius in here in his example, like, even that's kinda long, but not as bad. But if you just handed me, like, something that had, like, 6 effects, and I would just be like, I have no clue what's going on. As well, this is a neat tech card I found, Dust Barrier. Or it is destroyed during your second standby phase after activation, but it is a neat card. As well, there's another card like this. What is it called? Oh, I did forget about Dark Factor at Mass Production, one of the best recovery cards in the whole game. Just take 2 normal monsters from your graveyard, add them back to your hand. Non-spell casting area. Alright, so all face-up monsters except for effect monsters are unaffected by other spell effects. So this one is a bit more situational. If you're going to be using like equip spells or something, you wouldn't want to use this. but basically all non-effect monsters you control are going to be unaffected by Dark Hole, Raigeki. I believe, yeah, that's your Dark Hole as well, so you can just have a field full of normal monsters and this up and just Dark Hole freely. Just normal monsters have so much support, and especially if you want to go for some higher level stuff, there's Summoner's Art and Ancient Rules, which will let you just search out level 5 or higher normal monsters, so it'll let you search out like Blue Eyes or your higher level Pendulum Scales here. And then Ancient Rules will just let you summon level 5 or higher normal monsters from your hand, so if you do have like Blue Eyes or this guy or things like that, and we'll get to him in a second. But if you want to expand your playstyle from Vanilla Beat, just from the base Vanilla Beat style, there's a ton of ways you can go. You can go into like a sort of Gemini playstyle. Gemini, they have that new field spell, Catalyst Field, I think it is. That's pretty good. You can throw rituals in there. I just grabbed Lycanthrope because it had a thing for normal monsters. But really, like, rituals are an easy introduction to the game because you don't even have to worry about the extra deck yet if you don't want to. If you want to teach someone how to ritual summon using normal monsters, I probably wouldn't go for Lycanthrope though. I probably would go for either one of the level 8 ones like Blacklist or Soldier, or maybe Cthulhan or something like that. As well, when you get to the higher level stuff, there's Champion's Vigilance, which is just one of the best negate cards in the entire game. It's for level 7 or higher normal monsters, and it can negate a summon or a spell trap. Exodius, I kind of put in here. He's a really good, like, just resource, just get back all your resources card. But in a deck like this, you can also make use of his effect to gain 1,000 attack for each normal monster in your graveyard. Not necessarily by sending them with him, but if you, like, get him out and then were to go make a bunch of plays, he would have a ton of attack just right off the bat, like at least a good 3,000-4,000 if you were to make decent plays with him on the field. And lastly, I want to talk about, like, the next logical step up from this deck, which is Phantasm Spirals. All of the Phantasm Spiral support works with normal monsters, so it's very easy to integrate, especially like all the equip spells and the field spell. Yeah, it's just a bunch of equip spells which you might be using anyway. They all work with normal monsters. Of course, you probably won't be using Knight of the Red Lotus in a deck like Phantasm Spirals, but it's a really nice upgrade. It's a pretty decent rogue deck as well. But yeah, you can do so many things just by giving a player Vanilla Beat to start off with. Like, there are so many different variants and builds because there are so many just Vanilla Beat sticks that you can use as a base. That's about everything I can think of for this video. I just wanted to do a quick, like, introduction video on Vanilla Beat and sort of just have it as a discussion point of, like, what would you guys mostly recommend as a beginner deck? Mostly this topic comes from, like, starter decks, and like the most recent starter deck at this point, which was the Link Strike, I think it was. Like, it was a solid deck on its own. It had a lot of good spell and trap cards, a lot of good, like, staple monsters. Like, I believe it had, like, Effect Veiler in it. You could have taken that deck, like, without even all the Link monsters, just taken that deck, and you would have been easily able to, like, beat something from, I don't know, like 2008, 2009-ish. That goes a long way to show, like, how much power creep there's been in this game, and, like, where the entry level is that they expect new players to be at. Like, they're giving new players a starter deck that's, like, half hand traps, and yes, I know hand traps are, like, the meta at this point, but still, it's a little bit ridiculous. Yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Have you ever had any experience with Vanilla Beat? Would you recommend Vanilla Beat to beginners, or do you think it's a higher entry level for some reason? Do you think it's a more skill-based deck? I guess that could be an argument, that you need to have more, like, skill and thought, because you need to be more, since your monsters don't have effects, you need to be more skillful with your use of spell and trap cards. Guess that's an argument, I'm not really sure. Hey guys, sorry for the quick unedited bit at the end here, but there were two super important cards that I forgot to include in the video that are really good floodgate cards. First up is Tyrant Throws. Next up is Heat Wave. This card can only be activated at the start of main phase 1. Neither player can normal or special summon an effect monster until your next draw phase. Basically, it can get your board out of normal monsters out, and if your opponent doesn't have any normal monsters, they're basically stuck with having to set and then pass, because there isn't much that they can really do against this card in this deck. It's just a really good strategy, and it's very viable, and this card I think is still like $12 or something, because it's only had the one printing. I may be wrong on that, but I just wanted to put that little ending on this video because I completely forgot about these cards and then someone brought them up when I was in editing. But I will see you in the next one.